Hello and welcome to Distraction. I'm your host, Dr. Ned Hallowell. Those of you familiar with the podcast will know my guest today, as she's one of my favorites. She's joined me on the podcast many times over the years, and especially over the past few months. Dr. Carol Locke, Harvard Medical School trained, and altogether entrepreneur, innovator extraordinaire. The founder of OmegaBrite Wellness, a sponsor, we're lucky to be able to say, of this podcast, joins me today to talk about how parents and kids can alleviate some of the anxiety they are feeling as they embark on this new school year, a particularly difficult time because of the pandemic and the tremendous uncertainty that surrounds it. What you might be feeling, whether it be political, medical, nutritional, spiritual, what have you, Dr. Locke is here to help us with one kind of intervention that you probably haven't thought of, namely omega-3s and fish oil. So, Dr. Locke, could you please begin the discussion by telling us why omega-3s are so important?
Omega-3s are so important because, number one, we cannot make them. Our body cannot make them. We must take them in our diet. And they're very low. We're deficient in them in our diet right now. They have tremendous health benefits all across the board, from cardiac, brain health, to our joints, as well as to managing stress. And that makes them very essential all of the time, and even more important now.
I start every day by taking 5 of your little gel capsules. So what good am I doing for myself when I take them and swallow them?
Well, what you're taking is OmegaBrite. That's our OmegaBrite 7010 MD, which is our high EPA omega formula product. And what you're doing in taking those capsules is you're giving your body a way to not only provide for the health benefits of omega-3, but have the unique ability to increase your ability to manage stress, decrease your anxiety, increase your executive function, and improve your mood, as well as pain. So those are very big benefits that would help people in their toolbox as a parent or as a child in facing this pandemic, COVID return to school.
Huge. I mean, the advantages you just ticked off, and all I have to do is I keep them in the freezer, reach in there and take 5 capsules out of the bottle and swallow them, and I've done myself a huge favor. Now there are many different products, brands of fish oil. Why is OmegaBrite the best?
What I can speak to with OmegaBrite is it's a very different formula than typically what you can get in the store or online. And OmegaBrite is clinically proven. We have over 10 studies in major academic centers showing OmegaBrite improving mood, helping with bipolar, with depression, with ADHD, with anxiety, with inflammation. So it's a very proven product for you to gain these benefits, and these benefits we know come from OmegaBrite. You can't get that with a typical omega-3, which has, say, 180 milligrams of EPA in it. That just isn't going to provide that benefit.
Well, that's really good to know. As you know, I have total faith in it. Take it myself. So does my wife. And could you tell us a little bit about the recent study that showed OmegaBrite reduced inflammation and anxiety in medical students?
This is a great study. It was done at Ohio State, and it was done on medical students, 68 medical students without any medical problems, done over 12 weeks. And it was a blinded study, meaning the researchers and the students did not know if they were taking the OmegaBrite or the dummy capsules. And what it found was a 20% reduction in anxiety and a 14% reduction in the inflammatory cytokine IL-6. Wow. So that you had a very powerful benefit from the OmegaBrite shown in this study. And that's something that people could use right now in their life, reducing their anxiety and stress and inflammation.
So I think, with that in mind, I mean, honestly, my profession, psychiatry and medical in general, we ought to be prescribing this, but certainly before we prescribe drugs like Prozac or Zoloft.
I think it's a very powerful foundation to give to yourself and to your patients. It has all health benefits on top of these benefits. So I agree. I think it's something that we can powerfully prescribe and use in our lives and in our patients' lives to reduce anxiety, inflammation, stress, and help with mood.
And tell me if I'm wrong, but isn't it one of the most powerful anti-inflammatory agents?
It's a very powerful anti-inflammatory agent without negative effects.
Right.
So typically, if you take a prescription anti-inflammatory, you can have problems with COX-2 inhibition. You can have various problems in your immune system with suppression. When you're providing high EPA omega-3 like OmegaBrite, you're giving your body back the ability to balance inflammation in its own system. So omega-3 EPA competes with arachidonic acid. And so when you provide a high dose of omega-3 in your diet, you gain a ability to balance and modulate your own inflammation in your body as it wants to naturally.
And most lay people think of inflammation as, what happens when you get a cut or you get a bruise and you turn red and it's hot. But in fact, inflammation drives stuff that people don't associate with inflammation, like obesity, like depression, like high blood pressure, like immune dysfunction, which is associated with cancer. So by suppressing inflammation, you're suppressing one of the major provocateurs of the conditions that we fear the most.
Exactly. It's a huge thing. And we want inflammation if we, like you said, if we get a cut, we break our leg, we want to know about it. But we don't want that fighting against our body all the time, like you said, causing those disease states. Right. One of the things, Ned, that people, as you know, are facing overload right now, and the kids are facing, is stress. And stress affects inflammation as well. We think that stress causes a neuroinflammation, and it looks like the omega-3s can decrease that neuroinflammation. And one of the effects of stress is impaired executive function.
Yes, absolutely.
And we have a study I wanted to share with you in 2019, just came out, also from Ohio State, in youth, in kids, showing OmegaBrite improved executive function.
Wonderful.
And this was in 95 kids over 12 weeks.
Wow.
So that's a pretty big gain, I think, could go in kids and adults' toolbox right now with the pandemic to increase our ability to have executive function.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. And what ages were these kids?
These kids were ages 7 to 17.
Wow, okay.
And boys and girls recruited from the community. This study was done over 12 weeks in 95 children with the diagnosis of mood disorder, including bipolar disorder, not otherwise specified, major depression, or cyclothymia. And an important point, Ned, was many of these kids had co-diagnoses as well, 75 with anxiety and 58 with ADHD. There was improvement across the board for executive function in all diagnoses, and the ADHD population had a slightly higher level of improvement.
Is the dose different for kids?
The dose in this study was 4 capsules a day, 4 OmegaBrite capsules a day.
Okay.
And what we think when dosing is that it looks like we can use weight rather than age in children. And OmegaBrite 6 capsules a day have been used in kids with bipolar disorder at MGH study. Again, very healthy with only health benefits, positive health side effects.
Wow.
So the executive function study, I think, is really powerful because problems with executive function happen in ADHD. They happen in every mood disorder, and they happen across the general population in stress. And if we can help with that.
Yeah, I mean, they happen just in modern life, and now modern life with the pandemic thrown in, everybody's executive function is
is affected.
Yeah, no, boy. So and it's such a simple thing to just take these capsules. Like I said, I take 5 of them. Is 5 enough? Should I take 6?
A lot of people take 6. And there have been studies where in mood disorders where less than 6 was not as effective as 6 capsules a day. A lot of people take 4 or 5. This study on executive function was 4 capsules a day. In the anxiety study, it was 6 capsules a day. So I think you can use your own body and experience to tell you, is 4 good? Is 5 good? Is 6 good? You'll know.
Well, I've certainly found them to be mood stabilizing. My mood is all over the place. I don't know what diagnosis I have other than ADHD, but my mood is very labile, up, down, in between, and quick to change. And I found that the omega-3s really help me with that, not only with my musculoskeletal issues, but the mood issues as well. It is a wonder drug. What can I say?
Thank you. We hear that a lot from people, particularly in the pandemic. We're hearing from customers that they're finding it essential with their mood. They're also finding the OmegaBrite Omega-3 essential in their relationships, keeping their mood stable, positive, and feeling less anxiety helps them with their family relationships. And I think anything we can do to help kids, parents, and teachers right now, because of this added stress of do they go back to the classroom, a changed classroom with partitions and masks and social distancing, or are they at home with their parents who are stressed, is such a powerful situation. I think we want to help give people tools to put in their toolbox to succeed and to feel like they're thriving and able to learn during the stress.
Absolutely. And this is such a simple tool. I mean, some tools you have to work out, or you have to, stretch yourself. I mean, those are all good too, but this is a simple tool. There's no taste to it. There's no aftertaste to it. There's no, what could be easier than swallowing a few capsules? I mean, it's such a wonderful product. And, and there are fish oil products that you got to watch out for, because if they're not pharmaceutical grade the way yours is, you can get mercury contamination. It can be dangerous. So it's worth taking OmegaBrite to get the quality assurance that comes with it. Any last words, Carol? It's always great to hear you. You always have such good news.
I think I'm glad to be here. I think this is a particularly powerful message of this executive function study, showing both the safety in kids, but also the effect helping kids with their ability to get along. The parents in that study said that their kids had less distractibility, more ability to plan for and problem solve stressful situations, as well as less dysphoric mood, irritability, and improved self-esteem. So I think that's the message I'd like to give, is we have something to help. OmegaBrite can help kids, is safe, and will add to their ability to manage stress. And the parents too, and teachers.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Carol. And listen, to learn more, go to OmegaBriteWellness.com. That's OmegaBrite, intentionally misspelled, wellness.com. OmegaBriteWellness.com. And distraction listeners, you can save 20% on your first order by using the promo code podcast2020. That's podcast 2020. So go to OmegaBriteWellness.com, enter the promo code podcast2020, save 20%, and most important, be on your way to promoting health, mental health, physical health, altogether wellness for you and your children and your family and your friends, for that matter. It's such a treat to have you as a sponsor, because it's spreading good news and powerful resources, tools in the toolbox, as you like to say. Okay, remember to reach out to us with your questions, comments, and show ideas. We thrive on them, we love them, we use them, we metabolize them, we turn them into new shows, all of their very own. Our email address is connect@distractionpodcast.com. That's the word connect at distractionpodcast.com. Distraction is created by Sounds Great Media. Our recording engineer and editor is the brilliant, always on top of everything, Scott Persson. That's Persson with 2 S's. And our producer is the wonderful, brilliant, many-ideaed Sarah Guertin. I'm Dr. Ned Hallowell, wishing you a healthy and productive day, week, year, and life. Goodbye for now.